Okay. What's up, U-Skillz Army? We're
Yo,
doing an unlocking fun in Minecraft. I'm here with Sweet. Even though it doesn't look like it, she's right next to me.
yo,
What are we doing?
we're finding out fun facts.
We're finding out some fun facts. Alright, here. Go ahead.
Okay. Composer John Cage wrote a song called As Slow as Possible. Cage's idea is the song would take 629 years to play.
Oh my god, I know about this. It's in Germany, right?
I don't know.
That's the only bit of information you know?
Yep.
Okay, I'll give you guys a bit more information. It is in Germany. And they have put a soundproof box around it, so the neighborhood doesn't have to hear it anymore. They got sick and tired of it. Alright, what's the next thing?
Among the stranger acts in the history of show business was a display of pain tolerance by a 19th century San Francisco street performer known as Oofty Goofty. For his act, Oofty charged people to punch, kick, and beat him with a bat. Boxing champ John L. Sullivan took Oofty Goofty up on the offer to hit him with a pool cue for 50 cents. Sullivan broke Goofty's back, and that was the end of his showbiz career.
Wow, Jesus Christ. What an idiot. Wow. Oh my god.
This next one, I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciations, but 2 days after the U.S. invaded Panama to depose the country's ruler, Manuel Noriega, a computer company released a war game called Find Noriega.
Wow. I gotta play that game next. I don't have any fucking songs. Shit.
To ring in the new year, a Florida radio station played Stairway to Heaven 181 times in a row on December 31st, 1989. Dumb enough, but nothing is so dumb that it can't be trumped. After all, the DJ who played 181 Stairways was trumped by the person who listened to them all and kept count, making sure no one was trying to short fans a heaven or two.
Wow. Oh my god. I don't understand that. Yeah, it's a great song, but seriously? Just that one song? Well, I mean, back then they didn't have as much music as we have now, so it's a little understandable, but you couldn't like find a different song to at least play side by side? Come on.
Back in the 1950s, Fess Parker's TV show made everything Davy Crockett a hit. Not only did they sell more coonskin hats than anyone ever wore in wild frontier times, but one sporting goods store owner figured how to sell his stock of 200,000 pup tents. He simply wrote the name Davy Crockett on the tents and sold them all in 2 days.
Oh man. That's how you sell stuff, man. Something becomes famous. You just throw that name on whatever you want to sell. It's been in the freaking warehouse for 20 years and we need to sell it somehow. Let's put this guy's name on it. Alright. 2 days later, sold out. Finally.
Did you know in the 1950s college students got into a fad that would be all but impossible today?
Okay.
Stuffing themselves into phone booths?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah,
Do
well,
you know
we
what
do
the
that.
record is?
We kind of did that recently with Mini Coopers, like small cars, didn't we?
But think of a phone booth and think what you think the record is.
26.
34.
Are you serious? I thought 26 was impossible.
34 college
I
students.
thought you'd say no, it's just a little less than that. 34? That's insanity. Oh, hey. Wow, how the hell? Were they all miniature people? Was it a big, like, phone booth? Because I've seen one of those. My dad had one, my family had one, in the backyard. That doesn't even seem safe because Most of the walls are made of glass. Most of it's made of glass. It's metal and glass. How the hell do you fit that many people in there? I get... Did they clear out the glass or something? I don't know, man. That's just so ridiculous. The next one, come on.
You've heard of songs that are number one with a bullet? Here's a tune that was number one with a goose.
What?
In 1974, a man in England was listening to a record of Frankie Lane singing Cry of the Wild Goose when he heard something crash in his bedroom. He ran into the room and found that a wild goose had flown through the window. 2 more geese crashed into the window and bounced off outside. Now that's singing.
Oh my god. That's insane too. Like, how do you make a song like that and it actually affects geese? Like, oh my god. That's impressive. I mean, whoever wrote that song, a genius. I mean, there's a lot of geniuses out there who have written music. They're all really old now because the people who write songs today are pretty dumb. Not all of them, just most of them. But they're not at the genius level of some of the people back then. What's the next one?
Guess what the original cast of West Side Story danced to at their opening night party?
La Vida Loca?
The music from My Fair Lady.
Well, okay.
Yes, those teenage rebels of the 50s.
Wow. And my La Vida Loca came out in the fucking 90s. Fuck me. Man, I'm so wrong. 40 years too late. I'm a failure.
Did you know when a teenage Bob Dylan and his first rock and roll band played for a dance at his Minnesota high school, the school principal pulled the plug on the singer's microphone?
What?
Did you know that?
Oh. Did I know that his principal pulled the plug?
Yep.
Why? Just cuz?
I guess.
Wow. What an a-hole. Principals, man. Yeah, that's how you know principals are evil. Alright? Of course, not all of them. I actually had a pretty cool principal in high school and elementary school. I did not know the principal in my middle school at all. I didn't get into much trouble in middle school, I guess.
So this is...
I'm not done building.
There you go. John Barrymore was the first American actor to play Hamlet on the London stage. Did you know that?
Okay.
However, at the premiere, he was drunk out of his mind.
Nice.
Throughout the play, he had to lean on other actors to keep from falling, and he rushed off stage several times to throw up. To deliver Hamlet's famous "to be or not to be" speech, Barrymore staggered to a chair and sat down so he wouldn't fall down.
Okay.
However, the English critics raved, not at Barrymore, for him. They thought his drunken maneuvers created a masterful interpretation of Hamlet.
Wow. He's like, I'm just gonna do that again then. You guys like it so much.
In the 18th century, Robert Coates was considered by critics and audiences to be the worst Shakespearean actor anyone has ever seen. When he played Romeo, the London audience responded with a barrage of garbage. The star had to crawl off stage to escape.
Wow. Oh.
But Coates had his revenge. His
Yeah.
performance was so ludicrous that 6 people in the audience laughed themselves sick and had to be hospitalized.
Wow.
That may have
What
been...
the fuck? How do you laugh so fucking hard that you had to go to the hospital? What? God damn, those people had a great sense of humor.
It may be the first and only time Romeo and Juliet was interpreted as a comedy.
Wow. And I mean, it's very appropriate for Romeo and Juliet for people who need to be hospitalized from laughing. Jesus Christ.
During the Great Depression, flagpole sitting became an unusual and incredibly foolish fad sponsored by businesses trying to draw crowds.
Okay, flagpole sitting?
Yeah, on the
You
top
mean
of flagpole.
they climb up this 20-foot flagpole and sit on it?
Uh-huh.
Man, it sounds like my dream, actually.
Shipwreck Kelly became the most famous flagpole sitter in the U.S., setting the world record by swaying atop a pole for 49 days and nights.
What? Dude, you're graduated. You're chief. Make this guy president. Fucking hell.
His nickname, the luckiest man alive.
Yeah?
Kelly's record stood for 50 years, primarily because few people were dumb enough to want to break it.
Uh-huh.
However, in 1976, Frank Perkins smashed the record by sitting atop a flagpole at a used car lot for an entire year.
What the hell? How the hell did you eat or use the restroom?
They threw stuff up there.
And down?
Well, he's a guy. I guess it's easier to use the restroom.
Guys, clear out a second. I need to use the restroom. Come back in about 5 minutes. Oh, that's so... Oh my god. That is a record no one else wants to break, man. That is insane.
Hey, stop. What is it with teenage girls and the need to squeal at high decibels? It's not a rock and roll phenomenon. It goes back at least to the 1940s, when girls gathered in cities across the nation to squeal at Frank Sinatra's performances. They were known then as, quote, screaming meanies.
Screaming meanies?
Meanies. 2 M's.
Mimi?
Yep.
Oh, like memes?
Yeah.
What?
Only after Sinatra's fame was secured, however, was it revealed that his PR guy paid the girls to squeal, swoon, and faint.
What? Oh my freaking gosh. Man, back then they did anything to try and get some publicity. Hey, I need you girls to squeal and faint for this guy. But I don't even like his music. And that's okay. We don't need you to like his music. We just need you to be loud.
Yeah,
Here's some money.
that's pop culture right there.
That's so insane.
Well, did you know during the reign of King Louis the 13th, the place was to be seen was the court ballet, where the trendsetters of France strutted about in their most elaborate fashions? A ballet, okay.
Okay.
However, so many pretenders eventually spilled onto the stage that there was no room left for the dancers, and performances were canceled. So people who went to the ballet never actually saw the ballet, but maybe it was better that way.
Okay.
Did you know the world's first ballet was performed for the King of France in 1581?
No.
It was such an expensive staging that cost over 3 million gold francs and lasted so long, over 5.5 hours, that it was only ever danced once.
Okay. So the very first ballet was only performed once?
Yep.
Wow.
And cost over 3 million gold francs in 1581, which means astronomical now.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
And can you imagine having to dance ballet for 5.5 hours?
Yeah, you wouldn't have feet anymore.
Yeah. They probably only did it once because they were like, alright, that's the end of our ballet careers.
Yup. They all just fucking retired after that. I already hate ballet because have you seen their feet after, they practice for so long? It's nothing majestic. Okay, maybe their moves may look majestic, but if you peel back the curtains a little bit, you're gonna be horrified. Ballet is not a good thing. It destroys the ballet dancer's feet. It looks disgusting. Ugh. Alright. What's next?
Did you know Fiddler on the Roof was banned in Chile for 16 years?
What?
Fiddler on the Roof.
Why?
Well, in 1990, the ban was lifted, and Chileans are finally allowed to go see the daring musical about Russian Jews, which must have really caused a large portion of the Chilean population to go, what? We waited 16 years for this?
Yeah, what? Why? I'm so lost. Like, Chile is about as far away from Russia as you can get.
Yeah.
What?
Do you want to hear about ancient civilizations now?
Yeah, let's do it.
The great thing about the past is that we can look back and laugh at them, and they can't laugh back.
Yep.
After all, time makes us smarter by cutting off the argument in our favor.
Oh, what a good saying.
So, here are some popular beliefs that now look stupid to our enlightened selves. 17th century, it was believed that beekeepers could create new bees by letting veal rot.
By letting veal rot.
Yes.
Like near the bees?
No, like just letting veal type of meat rot.
Yeah.
It would make bees.
It would make bees.
Yes.
Well, it attracts flies. Fucking idiots.
Did you know in the 11th century they believed to have a baby boy, a wife should grind up the male sexual organs of hares and drink them mixed with wine?
What the fuck? Jeez, man. Poor bunnies.
Yeah. In the 12th century, it was believed that baby bears were blobs at birth and did not become bear-shaped until they were formed into bearlets by their mothers.
Like, what?
Like pottery or something.
Bear mothers are just master crafters? What? Oh man, what, did they freaking see a bear birth once upon a time? Like, that's just a fucking blob, man. I gotta go tell the village. We gotta talk about this.
I guess.
What the fuck? You know, I've never seen, like, even on, like, the History Channel. What the fuck did I die from? On the History Channel, a bear giving birth. Not, like, on Nature Planet or whatever.
Bless you.
It's never happened.
Well, in the 13th century...
So maybe they are blobs. We don't know.
In the 13th century, people believed that lion cubs remained lifeless after they were born until a male lion came and breathed on them.
Okay.
Kind of makes you understand The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe a little better, huh? Aslan blows his breath and the statues...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that when that was written? Oh, I have a
No.
magma freaking jumping on me. I got no armor or weapons. It doesn't even care.
In the 17th century, it was believed that you could soften diamonds by soaking them in goat blood. And no, I don't know why the 1600 humans wanted to soften diamonds.
Oh. Alright.
Uh-huh.
Alright, whatever.
Well,
What?
also in the 17th century, a doctor treating...
Hold on, I think I can answer this question. Why would they want to soften diamonds? Probably, this is just, a shot in the dark. What happened is someone was trying to sell someone glass, pass it off as diamond or something like that. And they're like, well, this doesn't really feel like diamonds. It's not hard like diamonds. And then the person quickly came up with, oh, I softened it. Oh, how? I soaked it in what? In blood. In blood? Yeah. A goat's blood. Okay. That softens diamonds? Yeah, definitely.
Well, Also in the 17th century, a doctor treating the victim of a sword wound should apply his medicines to the sword instead of the wound.
What? Oh my god, what the hell are they thinking?
I'm curious what happened, like, towards the end, like, when you have to stitch up the wound. Did they just not do it? Did they just try stitching up the sword?
They just gave the sword to the blacksmith. Here, fix this. I need you to heal my patient. What? A sword is your patient? No, patient's in my office. Why? What?
Well, 19th century, not that long ago, ketchup and mustard led people to uncontrollable lust, or so humans thought.
Oh, is that why it's all in all of our burgers? So we can fall in love with more burgers. Alright, I'm not finding...
Do you know why pianos have those skirts in the olden times?
No.
The skirts in them? Because in Victorian times, they were considered risque to show the legs of a piano.
What? Hold on. What? Like, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my god, guys. What is this? What am I doing? Yeah. Alright. Oops. Oh, shit.
Did you know in England during the Middle Ages, it was considered unmanly to sleep on a mattress or any other soft surface? They thought real men should sleep on the floor and in their clothes because it would make them better fighters.
Okay.
However,
And wait, in their clothes?
Yes.
Weaklings! You should have done it naked!
Well, they had real trouble explaining why them sleeping in their clothes on the floor lost several wars to the Frenchmen who did not do that. Uh-huh.
Fucking idiot. It was because they were wearing their clothes laying on the floor. Obviously. They didn't go hard enough. Also, you should have grabbed some, like, dirt from outside and spread it on the ground. That makes you harder. That makes you tough. Let's just do some of this. Might as well.
Did you know in Italy during the 1500s, men were considered effeminate for eating their food with a fork?
Seriously?
So next time,
Fucking hell.
listeners, if your mom scolds you for picking up your food with your hands, just tell them you're trying to be a man.
I'm trying to be a man, Mom. I'm eating like a man. Get your head out of the cake.
Did you know that there were still proper manners before Emily Post, but in the dark ages of Europe, they were a little different than today's polite society?
Uh-huh.
Here are some of the rules that were back in the dark ages. Ready? Don't pick your teeth with your knife.
Okay.
Do not chew on a bone and then put it back in the common dish.
Okay.
Please don't blow your nose on the tablecloth.
Okay.
Please do not spit on people across the table.
It's not polite, dear. Please stop.
I watched this one.
Did you know in ancient Europe, people thought that to build a bridge was to tempt fate? So to appease the gods and keep the
Interesting.
bridge from collapsing, children were sacrificed, buried alive inside the bridge's foundations.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
Just have you.
What?
So next time you go to like
I am not crossing any of
Ancient
those
bri-
damn bridges. Freaking
cursed.
dead kid bridges. Jeez, man. Why are people so crazy?
Do you know why shoes are tied to the rears of cars for just married couples?
Shoes?
Mhm.
I didn't know you tied shoes to the rears of cars.
Yeah, like well, even nowadays it's some people tend to use cans,
Yeah.
but it was
Yeah, I
originally
know you tie
shoes.
cans. Why shoes?
Well,
Is
because
it an omen?
even before that, they actually used to throw shoes at the bride.
What? You mean like when people didn't like Bush, they threw shoes at him? Why were they?
No, they
why were they
believe-
throwing shoes at the bride?
They would believe it would help her fertility.
What? No, that's just the mother-in-law to be getting pissed and then being polite. Oh, it's to help fertility, I swear. Let's make it a tradition. Fuck, man.
You know how some people believe that Christmas Day is the day as the birth of Christ?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know the Catholic Church considered it a sin to celebrate Jesus' birth?
Okay, yeah.
And even the attempt to figure out when Jesus was born was considered sacrilegious?
Yeah. Okay. That's because the Catholics don't believe in Jesus, right?
No, they do.
What?
They're a type of Christians.
I don't even... Look, religions are freaking stupid in my eyes. What the fuck? Where did that come from?
Did you know during the Dark Ages, kings were the only people who celebrated their birthdays?
Kings? Okay.
Ordinary people only celebrated the day of their deaths because it marked their escape from this world of woe into a better life in heaven.
Wow. So, make sure you treat yourself like royalty on your birthdays, motherfuckers. I mean, sweet people.
Did you know in ancient times the dead were buried in coffins not out of respect?
Interesting.
You know why they were buried in coffins?
Why?
Because they feared the deceased would come back to life and haunt them, and so that's why
Yeah.
coffins were nailed shut.
Yeah.
And also a large stone is placed on top of the coffin, not as a
Yep.
tombstone,
No.
but to keep them from escaping.
Yep. What the fuck? There's something killing a squid. What is this? Where are you? Are you an oxalotl? Oh my gosh.
Did you know in the South
They
Pacific?
kill squids.
Did you know in the South Pacific, people believe that the human race was created from sugarcane, with one bud of the stalk turning into the first man and the other bud into the first woman?
Okay. I mean, it makes sense, right? We also came from monkeys and fish. Why not sugarcane? I think some of us came from asses. I mean, donkeys. And not in a good way. Whee!
Did you know in the early 1800s, the stylish young upper-class Englishman was known as a dandy, a buck, or a
Yep.
beau?
Uh-huh.
And to be a proper English dandy, you had to throw away all of your family money on gambling and elaborate dinner parties.
What?
And if you did it right, you went deeply into debt and fled to a different country, probably France, where you couldn't pay your bills. But the one thing you never did, it was considered impolite, was go to work to pay off your debts.
Fucking dandies. What the hell? How do they get more money though? Did they just steal it? Swindle people?
Who knows?
Who knows? Fucking dandies.
Did you know in the Middle Ages it was considered sinful and unhealthy to bathe?
So they figured out bathing, and it cleans you off, makes you healthier. And now it's sinful to bathe? Why?
I don't know.
Because you have to get naked to do so? You must keep your clothes on at all time? That's why they slept with their freaking clothes on, because it's sinful. Ugh. Weaklings. That's why you lost the wars.
That's why they frequently stuffed garlic in with a straw before going to sleep,
What?
to help keep the mice and bugs away from their beds.
Yeah, from eating their flesh because they're not washing.
Yeah.
So, wow. Ugh. Guys, if you ever think of eating garlic, you don't need to, okay? Because you probably took a shower this week.
Press T, return, or controller D-pad right to open chat.
Did you know in the 15th century, an English bishop named Reginald Peacock tried to purify the English language by getting rid of words of Latin origin?
Interesting.
His idea, however, ran out of popular steam when he recommended such changes as inconceivable to be changed to not to be thoughtable.
Not to be thoughtable.
Yes. Wouldn't the Prince of Bride have been great with that?
Yeah.
Not
Princess
to be
Bri-
thoughtable.
Not to be thoughtable. I want to see a video of just the compilation in that video. Instead of him saying inconceivable, just that. Not to be thoughtable. I can't get off this fucking platform.
Did you know around the 1400s, the French University of Toulouse wasn't bringing in enough money through student tuition?
Okay.
So to make up the money, they made a brothel
Okay.
on campus.
What else you do with all those college girls?
You know that capturing Africans and selling them into slavery was not a barbarism invented by greedy Europeans or American plantation owners, right?
Yeah, of course.
The Islamic world had been enslaving Africans for 1,000 years before European capitalists moved in on the slave trade.
Yeah. That's it?
Also, the Greeks, the ancient Greeks, had tons of slaves. Not only did the Greeks originate the concept of freedom, but also the abuse of freedom.
Nice. You gotta give freedom to take freedom. What's the next one?
So, can you be a knucklehead and eccentric at the same time?
Gonna say no.
I believe you can if you're willing to put in that extra effort. Okay, hear me out on this.
Okay.
There's John Mitten, a 19th century British aristocrat, who felt really guilty about his inherited wealth. Okay. And when that happens to the relatively normal rich, they give away some of their money to a worthy cause, right? And they usually feel better flying off guilt-free.
Yeah.
Okay. Not John Mitten, though. His guilt led him to the odd habit of hunting ducks naked in the snow.
You okay, John Mitten? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just trying to get rid of this wealth. Oh, what? You're naked. He's just, being one with the ducks. Oh, man, I don't know what's wrong.
Yes. He also developed his nickname, Mango, the King of Pickles.
Mango, the King of Pickles. That sounds like a rock band that, those parody rock bands like Psycho Stick. Oh, man. He might be related to Weird Al Yankovic.
Well, you know writer Louisa May Alcott, right?
Not a clue who the hell
She
you're
wrote
talking about.
Little Women.
Still don't know.
Say not personally.
Well, her father, Amos, believed in the non-violent and ethical treatment of bugs. Okay? So when he found potato bugs and such in his gardens, he carefully picked them off, collected them, didn't kill them, and instead he dropped them over the fence into his neighbor's garden.
Okay. And his neighbor did the same thing, or
No.
killed them?
Yeah.
That's like a
Fucking
non-kill
idiot.
shelter.
What a dummy. It's like, god damn.
It's a non-kill shelter where they just send
It is exactly a non-kill shelter where they hold on to the pet until it's time to send them to a kill shelter.
Yes.
What the
Press
fuck?
T return for controller D
So-
right to open chat.
If you've ever heard of Jim Perol,
Okay, maybe.
known as the Mouth,
Okay.
he earned the nickname by smoking 140 cigarettes at the same time
Yeah,
in
okay.
1983.
Yeah. And then he died.
Yes, he died. And sadly, it was not ruled a suicide.
What? What the hell? What is it ruled as?
I don't know.
Alright.
But apparently suicide by cigarette smoking isn't the thing.
Okay.
First lawsuit against the tobacco company.
Yeah.
So, did you know there was a Cambridge scholar named Charles Ogden?
Okay.
He disliked being disturbed during his studies, particularly by noise from the street outside his home. So, to drown out the outside noise, he filled his rooms with loud chiming clocks and radios playing at full volume.
Okay.
And then he'd work through the night on his research and have dinner at dawn. Do you know
Yeah, nothing to say to that one.
Do you know there is a Christian apostolic church in Zion, Illinois?
Sorry, a Christian what licked?
Apostolic. Apostolic, yes, the apostles.
Okay.
Okay. In Zion, Illinois in the 1880s,
Okay.
they had some special commandments, such as they were not allowed to eat bacon, oysters, and they were not allowed to hum or whistle. Everyone had to be indoors by 10 p.m., and everyone had to swear and sign a document agreeing that the earth was flat.
Oh, great. Why do you have to sign a document saying that that's why this group doesn't exist anymore. No one wants to freaking sign their name on a piece of paper that tells everyone else that they're stupid.
To be fair, they might not have been thought of as stupid in those days.
Did you know Queen Elizabeth I of England did not wash her face the last 10 years of her life?
Why? So she can look older?
I don't know why.
That's just
That's
it.
just what she just refused to do it.
Okay.
Did you know there was a hermit and artist, Edward Leedskalnin, who spent 20 years creating a coral castle and a vast garden of coral sculptures in a remote part of Florida?
No.
And although he had no family, Leedskalnin wrote and published a family advice book instructing such things as parents should stop their kids from ever smiling because it causes wrinkles.
Wow. Those are the kind of wrinkles you want, though. Smiling wrinkles. Lets people know you're a joyful person.
Did you know Martin van Buchel, a prominent London doctor of the 18th century, painted all his white horses with purple spots?
Why?
He liked them better that way.
Okay. I might be related to him. That's pretty cool, have purple spotted horses.
Another English eccentric was Sir Tatton Sykes, who was obsessed with maintaining body warmth. He would walk through the countryside wearing layers upon layers of overcoats, which he simply discarded along the road as the day got warmer.
Okay.
However, as the day got colder in the afternoon, village boys would make good money following him on his walks and returning the coats for a shilling apiece over and over and over again.
Okay.
A man willing to pay for his convenience.
Nice. That's the life right there.
Did you know Archduke Franz Ferdinand of World War I despised wrinkles and creases in his clothes so much that he had servants sew him into his suits before he appeared in public? However, it backfired when he was shot by assassins, and the doctors couldn't cut his clothes off quickly enough to stop the bleeding.
Yeah. What a freaking numpty. Yeah, maybe that, yeah. Maybe they didn't try very hard, because they sent the assassin.
That's what they do as the
Count John Gould spent cold nights sleeping out in Greenwich Village, stuffing newspapers inside his suit for warmth. However, he refused to use any paper for insulation but the New York Times, proclaiming himself to be a snob at heart.
Okay. Weird.
Did you know English eccentric Charles Waterton turned his estate into a bird sanctuary? But not the kind of birds that most people keep as pets.
What kind of birds?
Buzzards, carrion crows, and magpies.
Nice.
He claimed they were the victims of discrimination.
Okay, I mean...
To make more room for them, he slept on the floor of an empty room in his mansion, using a block of wood for his pillow.
Wow.
He also had an odd habit. Some might consider it odd.
Also had an odd habit.
Yes, some might consider this odd. Of hiding from his house guests and then jumping out and biting their ankles as they passed by.
What? What? What crazy. What crazy people, man.
So you know the National Cash Register, right? The makeup of a cash register?
Okay.
Sisters wear makeup.
Okay. The guy who invented it, John Henry Patterson, took 4 baths every single day. He also had his underwear made of the same felt they used for pool tables.
Interesting.
Did you know? Now this guy's a guy after my heart.
Okay.
Jemmy Hurst was a great practitioner of the proper British hunt in the mid-1800s. Well, except for one thing. While everyone else used horses and hounds, he rode upon a bull and trained pigs to lead the chase.
Wow. Holy crap. What a man.
Do you know of Edward VII, King of England? He had a habit that it's best that he was king.
What?
It's best that he was king, that he had this habit, because anyone else would have been
okay.
murdered.
Yeah, what's his habit?
He recorded the weight of every visitor who came to his castle.
Okay. I think I've seen a anime episode where the guy who owns a mansion does that.
That's charming.
Charming, yeah.
You know Jonathan Swift, who wrote Gulliver's Travels, right? He
Okay.
counted every footstep of his life.
Why?
'Cause
Crazy. Jeremy, stop messing with him, please.
Did you know there was a saint, Saint Francesca, who came up with a test to prove devotion,
Okay.
burning herself with hot bacon?
I love you so much. Watch this. Give me the bacon. What? Ay.
Did you know Oliver Heaviside, who was an English physicist, would live on nothing but bowls of milk and kept warm while he worked in his drafty lab by bundling up in layers of blankets and wearing a tea cozy on his head instead of a hat?
Interesting.
Guy after your heart, huh?
Oh yeah. Maximum efficiency.
Did you know in Liechtenstein, farmers publish obituaries in the local paper when their cows die?
Interesting.
I wonder if that applies to when they killed them, too.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
poor Peggy Sue.
Had to
We
be
had to
put
murder
down.
her today.
Yep.
But damn, does she taste good. What are you writing?
We'll be serving her tonight
No.
at the bungalow. See page 3 for bungalow details.
In the 19th century, Earl of Alsborough, Benjamin Stratford, threw away his family fortune trying to build the world's largest balloon.
Okay.
His attempts failed, however, when the hangar caught fire and burned everything. And after that, he was not the same. He became a hotel recluse, having all meals sent to his room, but refusing to allow maids to remove the trays afterwards. And when he died, his room was piled from floor to ceiling with dirty dishes.
Wow.
That's disgusting. Can you imagine the rot?
Yeah. Hate to be the maids who had to clean that up.
Wow, Oxford professor Richard Porson was such a heavy drinker that he ruined his nose. His veins busted in his nose.
Yeah, I mean, recently, didn't someone's nose collapse from so much cocaine use?
No.
I don't remember who, but...
After that, he decided to put a cone of paper pasted to it.
Ugh, fuck.
To cover it up.
Wow.
You ready to hear about love?
Yeah, tell me about love. Why am
Do you
I
believe in love at first sight?
covered in pink swirls? Yes. Love at first sight, tell me about it.
That's girl. You know Edgar Allan Poe, right?
Yes.
Okay. When he was a boy, he showed his affection for the girls in his town by hiding in the bushes and throwing live snakes at them.
Cool.
That's love, right?
What the fuck? Yeah, that's very, very much love.
Did you know there was an Iranian man who married 168 women and said that the reason he was attracted to all of them and loved them all dearly was because of his diet.
His diet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
He
my
ate
god.
2 pounds of onions a day.
Oh, interesting.
Did you know a survey was done that found that 52% of American women would give up a year of their lives to have their ideal body?
Okay.
Did you know a society girl named Doris Lilly married movie director John Huston in a Mexican ceremony?
I don't know who either of those people are.
It's okay. Then she caught him cheating on her, right?
Yeah.
But she was even more surprised when he announced that he couldn't be cheating because they were never married. Hudson had talked one of the actors from his movie Treasure of the Sierra Madre into playing the minister at the fake wedding ceremony.
Wow. What a jerk, man. Oh, you want to get married? Yeah. Let me just call my actor friend real quick.
Do you know how many romance novels are published each month?
No.
Over 100.
Why? Nobody has time for all that. Yeah, speaking of which, you want to write a romance novel? We need to fill the quota.
Did you know Caesar Ivan the Terrible announced that he would choose his bride from a lineup of 1,000 virgins gathered from all over Russia? The decree proved surprisingly popular with the young men of Russia. An unusual number of young women quickly gave their virginity to almost anyone else in order to disqualify themselves.
Nice. It was a happy year for Russian men. You know that nerd in the back of the classroom? The most popular guy in school.
You know writer Charles Dickens, right?
Yeah.
You know what he called his wife?
Wifey?
Dearest darling pig.
What the fuck?
Yes, she later divorced him.
No shit. Who the fuck? Oh my god, dearest darling pig, huh? How many times did he get away with saying that before she threw in the towel?
Did you know the Indian Gaikwar of Baroda was so romantically inclined that he spent $2 million on weddings?
What?
Not his own, Not his
Um,
kids.
Interesting.
Not anyone in his families, no. On pets. It's his weddings.
His what?
His pets' weddings.
His pets' weddings.
$2 million.
$2 million on weddings for things who can't even have weddings.
Yep.
What the hell?
Did you know international relations actually can be more romantic than romance itself?
Yeah, why?
Few love notes compare to the one sent by Idi Amin, president of Uganda, to Julius Nyerere, president of Tanzania, a country Amin was planning to invade.
Yeah.
He wrote, "I love you so much that if you were a woman, I would consider marrying you."
Okay.
Yeah, the invasion failed as well.
Wow. I mean, that kind of falls along with the stigma where rappers, that when they get mad at other rappers, they write poems to each other.
Yeah.
It's like, can't you just get mad like normal people? What is wrong?
Do you know Peter the Great, Caesar of Russia, kept the head of his favorite mistress in a jar by his bed?
What the hell?
However, he was also very jealous, and so whenever he suspected that his wife had a lover, he removed that person's head and forced his wife to keep it in a jar by her bed.
Okay. Interesting.
When the poet Percy Bysshe Shelley died young, his romantic wife Mary wanted to keep his heart with her always, wrapped in a piece of silk. However, they were both poets and not very good at anatomy, and so Mary ended up with his liver. But, you know,
Wow.
heart, liver, what's the difference?
Right.
There was a German wife who divorced her husband on the grounds that he ate too much celery.
What?
The constant crunching kept her awake all through the night.
Why would he eat celery at night? Man, I'd divorce you
bed.
too. Seriously? There's no reason for you to be eating that much celery. Oh, fuck.
Did you know in 19th century England, a visionary named Thomas Harris formed a religion called the Brotherhood of the New Life?
Okay.
He preached that God was bisexual, and to get close to God, followers had to get close to him.
Ah.
And he particularly wanted to get close to young women.
Ah.
However, he said he didn't do this for his own gratification.
Uh-huh.
He has his bisexual counterpart in heaven, and that spirit is called Lily Queen.
Uh-huh.
And she wanted to comfort followers of her own sex, which she could only do on Earth through his body.
Ah. Sounds like a great idea. You know what, Lily? You're my queen, too.
By getting into his arms, the women were told, we get into her arms.
Oh, fuck's sake, man. Isn't
And-
there a church, whatever, priest who recently said her vagina is blessed?
I don't know.
Like, if you sleep with me, you'll be blessed. Like, the fuck?
Yeah, enough people bought the line, though. He was never lonely at night.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, some girls just want any reason, you know?
So, did you know when he was a Broadway producer, George M. Cohen fired a young actor from one of his shows because he had no romantic appeal?
Interesting.
It was Clark Gable.
Okay, that doesn't help me. I don't know who Clark Gable is.
You're so young.
I am.
He was a heartthrob.
Oh, was he?
He was. That he was.
She's about to show me a picture, which isn't gonna do anything for you guys.
I
Some
would
of
hope
you,
that they can use their own
some of
Google,
you
too.
might be able to know who Clark Gable is, or you can just use your Google. That does. Who does that look like? That does. I mean.
You know who that is, right?
No.
He's from the movie.
Wow.
God, I can't. I know what movie it is. Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind.
Remember, he's the guy in Gone with the Wind who actually loved the girl, even though the girl was in love with someone else. He's the one who married her. Remember? He's the one who said, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn."
Oh yeah, you showed me that movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he had no romantic appeal.
What's interesting? What? Hold on. What's that guy? The main actor in Oh Brother Where Art Thou? The Odyssey thing. Who's that?
What?
Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
Oh, I remember the movie.
Yeah, that whatever Charles Gable looks like him.
Ah.
That's what I thought it was. What's next?
Did you know in 1989, a boy asked a girl to their high school prom, and then on the big night, he stood her up?
Weird.
It happens sometimes, okay?
Yeah.
But the girl's mother sued the boy.
Huh?
What did she want in damages? $49.53.
Why?
Because she thought that her own daughter wasn't even worth an even 50.
Weird. I mean, if you're gonna fight for your kid, at least make it fucking worth it, right?
Did you know President Grover Cleveland waited until 1905 when he was out of the White House to embarrass himself by saying, "Sensible and responsible women do not want to vote"?
Huh? That's kind of like today. I mean, not as bad as today because Biden says, if you can't figure out whether you're voting for me or voting for Trump, then you ain't black. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, son? You're not making any sense.
Did you know in the early 1900s, upper-class English gentlemen hoarded naughty pictures of harem women from the Ottoman Empire?
Cool.
But since women in Turkey weren't allowed to pose for the photos, most of them were actually men pretending to be women.
Wow. Wow. Those sexy Turkish men.
What says love better than a 14-karat gold birthday present?
Two 14-karat gold birthday presents?
Well, filmmaker Carlo Ponti gave his wife, the actress Sophia Loren, on her 40th birthday, a 14-karat gold birthday present. You want to know what it was?
A giant dick?
A toilet seat.
Oh, nice. So you can think of me every time you sit down to empty.
Every time you defecate.
Yeah. That's nice.
Did you know Jack Morin got into the Guinness Book of World Records because he married 40 times?
Nice.
But so did Edna Morin. The Seattle couple married each other 40 times, starting in 1937.
What the fuck?
Enacting repeat wedding ceremonies all over the world.
Okay. I mean...
It's sweet, actually.
Yeah, it's sweet. That's pretty nice. These poor squids are getting torn apart by these axolotls.
Did you know when the artist Marcel Duchamp was married, he ignored his bride all through their honeymoon and instead played chess?
They got divorced.
She countered by gluing the chess pieces to the board.
Nice.
He countered by divorcing her 3 weeks later.
Yup. Yeah, so if you don't consummate your marriage on your wedding night, then the marriage is doomed. The statistics don't lie, people. So, we were watching Married at First Sight or whatever, and they gave this statistics that 51% of people don't consummate the marriages on the first night, and I think I remember about 51% of marriages end in divorce. I think that those numbers aren't a coincidence. I think if you consummate your marriage on your wedding night, then you're not doomed to fail. But if you don't consummate your marriage on your wedding night, you're definitely doomed to fail. So that's why after 3 weeks of marriage, those two did not last. It's not because she glued the freaking chess pieces down. It's because he played chess.
Did you know English writer Thomas Hardy loved his wife Emma so much that they wanted to be buried next to each other?
Okay.
Common thing, right?
Yeah, common.
However, he was considered a national treasure. So when he died on January 11th, his body was interred in the Poets' Corner of Westminster Abbey.
All right.
Okay. However, they moved his heart so that they could bury it in Emma's grave. So the heart, at least, would be next to the heart.
Oh, that's sweet.
However, before that could happen...
They put his liver in instead?
No. Hardy's housekeeper placed his heart on a kitchen table and the cat ate it overnight.
What? You fucking, that's when you kill the cat and bury it next to the wife. Wow.
Don't eat that. Don't eat that. No, don't eat that. Don't eat that. Stop it. Stop
Did you know in Paris in the 15th century,
Stop it.
a romantic date was considered taking the girl out for a dinner picnic at the public execution grounds?
What the fuck?
You know, before they had movie theaters and all.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's the only source of entertainment back then.
He's trying to eat it.
Throw it away. Did you know J. Edgar Hoover fired an FBI agent because he married a woman of Arab heritage?
Wow.
Yeah. The head of the FBI declared it to be an un-American romance.
That's ridiculous.
Ow.
Hey, chill.
Did you know in 17th century England, a man could legally divorce his wife on a wide range of grounds, including her being too friendly, too unfriendly, too hungry,
What the fuck?
too amorous, too silly?
Wow.
Did you know in 18th century England, poor men who could not afford a government divorce could choose to auction off their wives?
Why?
If it was a countryman, he would put a halter around his wife and lead her to the auction block like cattle, and then sell her to the highest bidder.
Wow. That's insane.
Now we're going to hear about the idiots of Wall Street and such.
Nice.
If you believe that rich people must be smart or they wouldn't have so much money, then you haven't met wealthy ding-dongs.
Yes. There are loads of them. Loads of wealthy ding-dongs. Just think about the dandies that we talked about earlier.
Did you know Russell Sage was one of the richest men in America in the 1800s? But when he saw his wife feeding peanuts to squirrels, he screamed at her, insisting she feed them stale bread instead because it cost less.
Wow.
He made millions, but never spent it. He lived in cheap lodgings and wore the cheapest of clothes, and after he died, his widow spent the rest of her life giving his money away. Sweet charity revenge.
Yeah.
Did you know billionaire Howard Hughes lived for years on nothing but ice cream?
Weird. I mean, I guess you could. Why would you?
He also watched the film Ice Station Zebra more than 100 times in a row.
What the fuck is that?
It's one of his films.
Ice Station Zebra.
Yeah, most people can't make it through the movie once.
Well, now I'm interested. Ready for your seizures? Seizure warning right here. Alright. Okay.
You know,
That guy is stuck.
millionaire Hetty Green, known as the Witch of Wall Street in the 1800s, was so cheap and senseless that when her son injured his leg, she refused to pay for medical care.
Okay.
Yeah. She told the boy that there was no point in paying a doctor because he'd recover anyway. However, the son's leg became infected with gangrene because the wound was never treated and had to be amputated.
Wow. What a witch.
So, did you know movie star Jennifer Lopez took her entourage to London and put them up at a fancy hotel? One night they decided to go to another hotel for dinner, and it took 6 limousines and half an hour of sorting out who rode in which car before they could make the drive from the first hotel to the second hotel, which was only located 100 yards down the street.
Wow. What the fuck? Alright, so you know what? That's what we're ending on. People are ridiculous, everybody. People are just ridiculous. And we gotta stop there because there's just too much going on with the kids right now.
Let us know if you want more.
You never do, but you know what? It doesn't hurt me asking, so if you want more of these weird facts, while I'm playing Minecraft
Jeremy,
aimlessly, just, let me know.
Mm-mm.
Bye, guys.